when it comes when it comes to money, right? A lot of people have not been able to figure this thing out, this thing called money, right? People see money um different perspective. People see money and in different ways. Today I had the opportunity to speak with some core members, and in that conversation, as a matter of fact, even while I was done with them, a lot of people, had to come and meet me, and they were just like, wow, that they saw a lot of their mistake. Even the guy, the is it DGI they called them or so, the guy who also invited us, because I was actually invited by the PA to the state coordinator. I happened to meet him when I was serving in 2018. So then there was this financial inclusion stuff they were doing. So I was part of it. And I think after my service year, somehow we lost communication. And I think one of these days he was going through Facebook and he saw my videos. Then he sent me a message, a direct message. Then from there we actually connected. So we are trying to run a project for NYSC. It's an empowerment project. It's pretty much not something that we're going to be charging them for, right? It's just to really shift this mindset, because there's a lot of issues, or there's a lot of wrong mindset so many people have about money. And if you don't really fix that, you're going to have issues, right? You just end up pursuing money for life. You just end up seeing yourself working and working and working, and you think one day you are just going to hit it, right? It's not just going to work that way. Even though one way or the other you have opportunity to make some kind of money, you realize that because you don't understand the science that governs money or that controls money, you will not be able to do well. You will not be able to sustain that altitude, of the kind of money that you have made. Why? Because there's already a faulty ideology that you have about this thing called money, and you can actually play the game, right? You can actually master this thing called money. You can master it and play it very effectively, like the wealthy, right? Recently I was studying so much about debt. And this whole thing that has to do with playing the game of money, or this idea of winning the mastering and winning the game of money, has to do with mindset. Because for every game you see, for example, we have different kinds of game. We have the chess, we have football games, and yes, we have football, we have different kinds of game. Now, the extent in which you can successfully win a particular game is directly proportional to the rules you have, the rules you've understood about that game, and how skillful you are in about that particular kind of game. So you realize that somebody who understands the rules of chess and is very skillful in playing chess will always, to a large extent, will always do well, will always win that game called chess. So the same way, money is something that if you understand money, it's a cumulative journey that you do every single day. All your decisions that you make on the choices of things you buy, the choices of businesses that you take on, the choices of job that you decide to actually get into, the choices of opportunities that you are willing to harness, even the way you relate with people, the choices of people in your network, right? Everything are actually connecting themselves to a kind of result that would definitely reflect, to the extent in which you understand this game that we call, the money game, right? Everything you do. So it's a life. Understanding how to play the game of money, it's a life. It's something you live, and it has to do with every decision, every step you make. How intentional are you about this step? How intentional are you about learning this particular kind of skill, right? How intentional are you about, meeting this set of people? How intentional are you about attending conferences or attending trainings? Are you just attending trainings because you want to attend another training? Or are you attending training because you realize, or you know very well that the training one way or the other is going to be it has a place, right, in effectively moving you to the next level when it comes to your finances. So everything you do, right, even the choices of car that you probably want to drive, or that you're already planning to buy. Now, why did you choose that car? Does it in any way connect with your actions in playing the money game? Does it connect with it? So it's something that understanding the game of money and playing it effectively to you getting to a point where you win the game, right? It has everything to do with every step of action you take, and how intentional are you about it, right? Because whether you like it or not, every one of us, we are adding age, right? Every single day you go on Facebook, you see people celebrating their birthday. Of course, it's a very beautiful thing to celebrate. But what we need to also look at is the more birthday you celebrate, the closer you are to your departure, the closer you are to finishing your assignment on earth. And whether you like it or not, money plays a major role in how much you are going to effectively carry out your assignment on earth. Like, regardless of what you do, whether you are a pastor, whether you are a mechanic, or whether you are an architect, or whichever industry you play, right? Everything should still connect back to the fact that you understand how to play the money game. Because wherever industry that you find yourself, you actually generate money from that industry, right? So what you do with the money that you are generating. So the money is just the entry level to starting the game. The money is just the entry level to starting the game. So what are the decisions that you're going to make on that money over time? Because when you make the money, it's from that money you are going to spend. It's from the money you are going to, if you have a project you want to do, it's from that money, right? As a matter of fact, at some point you may even get to a level where the money may not even be enough. You're now looking for, okay, other sources of income. That is also you playing the game as well. So you began to see that, oh, because of the size of my vision, or the size of my purpose, or where I'm going, right? Whatever income that is coming in today is not sufficient enough. So you started thinking, now this is you playing the game. So all of these things, one way or the other, game, it's all about decisions. If you are a footballer, the decision you make when you get closer, or when you're in the midfield, who you are going to pass that ball to, the next person that you're going to pass the ball to, it's a decision you are making at that level. And the way you pass the ball to the next person, it's rooted on your level of experience. It's not just a guesswork. It's rooted on your level of experience. It's rooted on the way you understand the game at that instance. It's rooted on, so many things. So because the decision you're making at that time will either move the team forward, or ruin the game, to your disadvantage, or to the disadvantage of that particular team, right? So it's all has to do with the decisions you are making on your money. So whenever you get money, or probably you are going out to even get money, right? How do you fine tune? What informs your decisions? What is the wisdom that backs your decisions? What is the wisdom that backs your next level, your next move, right? What is the decision that backs your next idea to want to invest? What is the decisions that backs Because people just hear about, for example, now people just hear about investment. Investment, yes, okay, investment has to do with putting your money somewhere. But it's beyond that. There has to be a wisdom that should back that action. And your ability to sharpen your financial IQ, right? Your financial intelligence quotient is rooted on how much of financial education that you've acquired and you have practiced over time. Yes, in the process, you are going to make moves. It's just like a normal game. No matter how good you are, there are times you are going to make some passes that may not be accurate. But one thing is sure that the more you develop yourself to understand the rules of the game, the more you develop yourself to understand the rules of a game and to also understand, to develop the level of skill you have on a particular game, guess what? It increases your odds of making right decisions. So you realize that a footballer who understands the game of football and has played it over time and don't and has his own time where he studies games, right? He develops his skills. You realize that when the guy gets into the pitch, m- if normally 80% of his passes were not accurate, the more he develops himself, you realize that the odds of having accurate passes are actually going to be increasing. And what happens at that level? What happens at that level? You realize that the results that he himself will get and the entire team will get will definitely step up. So what it means is your financial result is always traceable to how much you understand how to play the game. So your financial result is not just an accident. Your financial result is not just something that just happened. No, you are actually the one. Is the moves you are making on your money. The moves that you are making are actually creating the result, whether good or bad. So what it means is if you want better results or better outcomes on the outcomes of your money and your finances, what you need to do is to improve the depth to which you understand the rules of money and also to understand to develop your skill set when it comes to money. And some of those skills that you need to probably develop is investment skill, income skills, right? The investment skill, understanding how to automate, or how to automate your savings, automations, budgeting and all of that. So those are skill sets that you need to develop. So when you start developing those skill sets, you realize that the decisions you start making on your money will definitely be optimized. At the moment your decisions are optimized, you realize that your outcomes will reflect your decisions. Somebody said something, it said, if I see you, right, if I look at you and I study you for, a very short while, I can understand where you're going to, how and why, because of the decisions that you're making. Every one of us, we are a product of our decisions financially. So the level you are financially is always traceable to your financial decisions. So if you want to change your outcomes, change the decisions that you're. Please, you can mute your mic, please. Change the decision that you're making on your money. And you can never make better decisions until you start learning things that you don't actually know before. So your thought patterns that are regulating your financial decisions has to be optimized, right? So that is the entire process when we talk about understanding the money game, right? So, and the essence of this conversation, it's not just that we're going to teach you everything that you would need to optimize or, play the game of money better, right? Because if you can play the game of money better, I can guarantee you, you can never be poor, right? Because playing the game of money is not a mystery. It's something you can learn. Just the same way you can learn how to play chess, right? Even though you start, that is why there are three levels of what is the word exactly? There are actually three levels of how you do things. Let me put it that way. We have the amateur level, we have the amateur level, we have the um what's it called now? We have the amateur, we have the let me use this word, the middle professional level, then we also have the professional level, right? So the more, if there are a lot of people that are amateur when it comes to money, right? So your responsibility is to move yourself from becoming an amateur and grow yourself to become a professional. So when you become a professional in handling money, right, you realize that your income increase. Why? Because you can even probably see more opportunities around you. People cannot see opportunities around them. Why? Because they are the reception they have, the mindset that they have towards money is so bad, or is so naive that they cannot even see opportunities that has the capacity to generate income for them, right? So that is the entire process. So the essence of this pre-class is to give you an idea of what we want to do in the in the life training, which of course, whichever part of Nigeria you are. See, I have traveled from Benin to Lagos and to other parts of Nigeria for a training that has the capacity to change my life. So you don't really have to be in Benin to attend. Whether you're in Benin or you're not in Benin, you have what it takes to be a part of this training. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Kenny, but before then, I would really love to read. I would love to read his bio. Of course, during the physical and life training, we're also going to have that as well. But it's a pleasure for me to introduce him um, in a very big way. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Kenny Nwokoye is a multiple award-winning internet entrepreneur, an international conference speaker, influencer, and widely celebrated online business coach and consultant. He's on a mission to empower a million Africans with the skills needed. I think I'm getting noise. Okay, let me mute this one. Okay. He's on a mission to empower 1 million Africans with the skills needed to excel in the business and affiliate marketing, in the business of affiliate marketing. Over the past 4 years, Kenny has built an online following of over 250,000 plus entrepreneurs and business owners, generating over $450,000 in sales, while helping his students collectively earn over $3 million through his unique parts method and zero to hero affiliate coaching program. He has raised over 300 plus online millionaires in the past 30 months, and he is now the leading membership for raising top performance in affiliate marketing space with over 13,000 plus members from 48 countries. Kenny's inspiring transformation story from struggling as an affiliate marketer to becoming a renowned coach has been featured on Fox, NBC, and CNBC. He has spoken at conferences and events in over 5 countries in Africa and the Middle East, sharing stages with great minds like Mr. Peter Obi, which is former governor of Anambra State, Bitcoin chief, and Pastor Goswill Oil. He is a fast rising influencer in the personal development and online business space, and his impact on thousands of people is undeniable. Now, before I bring him up, I would also love to say this. Now, if you are on this call, trust me what I'm going to say. If you are on this call, I had a very rare privilege to meet. Of course, I've been seeing Mr. Kenny online before I met him physically in Lagos. I think I had a project that I did with Sam Harvard So fortunately for him, for me, Mr. Kenny just walked in. And I recognize this man. Oh wow, I've been seeing him online. And somehow, I was even, sometimes when you meet, I often now realize that people who are really big are actually very humble set of people, except maybe you've not really met them or have the privilege of meeting with them. Yes, we know that some persons are, but people who really have good stuff are very humble. And I was very surprised that, I think I approached him and like, oh, I would love to have your number. I mean, it was so easy how he related with me. And I told him that I was coming from Benin, like I based in Benin and all of that. It might be quite easy though, but I know what he carries. And for you to be in this same call with him, it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. And I would advise any one of us here, don't miss this physical training. There are some certain things which I always say, there are some certain things you cannot find on Google. Somebody have to tell you, somebody has to tell you. There are some things that you cannot, no matter how you Google it, you can't see it. There's some room you have to be in to have conversation with some certain kind of people. The kind of results, like I always say, anybody who's having a result that you don't have knows something that you don't know. And sometimes those information are not just everywhere.
Davis,
Those kind of information are not just everywhere, right? There are some certain kind of place you need to find those kind of information. So, ladies and gentlemen, with digital round of applause, I want to welcome Mr. Kenny Nwokoye to the call. Sir, thank you so much for having you, and you have the floor. Thank you, sir. Please, let's celebrate Mr. Kenny. Let's put in
All
some
right.
energy. Please, let's put in the emoji. Thank you, sir. Appreciate.
If this was my community now, you see me, I'll start shouting, energy, energy, boom, boom.
it.
My guys in my community, the energy is always high. I hope the energy is also high here too. Give me some fire emojis in the comments. Awesome to be here. And Caleb, can you please give me co-hosts? Can you give me co-hosts so I can collectively mute those who are currently unmuted so somebody doesn't interrupt
Okay,
while we are
let me do that now.
okay. Hey, Deborah's energy seems to be the highest. Deborah is going crazy in the comments right now. Damn. Come on. Deborah has the highest energy in the house tonight.
Okay, I think
Hey, Mr. Walter. And by the way, I like to have my sessions with video, right? So those of us with lights in our house right now, they're joining from Nigeria or anywhere else in the world. Let's have your video come on so I can give you a quick shout out. Just say hi to you. Mr. Walter, I can see Mr. Walter. Yes, awesome. Although I'm seeing Mr. Walter ceiling though. Okay, now I can see Mr. Walter. Okay. Yeah, Deborah has been following me for some time. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm sure you probably never seen me on video before, right? Yeah, I can see gospel. Yeah, the real gospel is here with us today. Yeah, I see gospel.
uh,
And if you have light in your area, you can feel free to turn on your video so that we can have a nice time and talk about a couple of things before we wrap it up for this evening. iPhone 13 Pro Max. I wish I could see your name, but what I'm seeing there is iPhone 13 Pro Max. I know that's not your real name. And Divine, yeah, I can see Divine. Divine is also showing on my screen. Gospel, I can see Gospel. Yes, awesome stuff. All right, awesome. All right, so let's get into this session. I want to be seeing some faces on the screen when we are gisting about money, right? Talking about money. Okay. Thank you for the invitation, Caleb. I've always looked forward to, I mean, ever since we met, I've always looked forward to meeting your community. And it's quite interesting and it's quite obvious that everybody here is full of energy. And we have a group of amazing people here with us tonight. All right. So without further ado, yeah, I can see Divine now. Hi, Divine. Nice hair. Hmm? Okay. No lights in this part of Nigeria. I
please,
know how it is. I know how it is. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be an awesome time. The physical event is going to be happening just a couple of days from now. It's going to be amazing. I wish you guys can make time and come for that event. It's going to be so amazing, right? It's going to be amazing. I'm going to teach you the 5 pillars of a 9-figure business. the 5 pillars of a 9-figure business. That's what I'm going to be teaching you live at the physical event. I'm going to break it down in such a way that I have never broken it down before. That particular topic has been one of the most impactful teachings that I've had over the years. So you definitely want to make sure you attend the physical event happening live in Benin City. Okay. All right. So I'm going to gist with you this evening. I gist and I teach at the same time. So I found over the years that that happens to be one of the most interesting ways to teach and one of the best ways to learn at the same time. So I'm going to share with you a very interesting story first and foremost. Hey, Mr. Emmanuel, twale to you, twale to you. All right. So there's how many of us know about the Twin Tower incident? You guys know about the Twin Tower bombing that happened in the US? Osama bin Laden, where one plane crashed into the building, and the next thing, the two buildings came down flat, right? You guys remember that story? You know what happened, right? So there was something that happened. There was a particular guy's story that came out of that, incident. And that story has become super viral over the years. And there's one particular thing that I want to use that story to pass across. There's a particular message that I would like to use that story to pass across, talking about money. Okay. So I don't want to mention his name, but this guy was working in one of the two buildings that collapsed during the 9/11 incident. And when the thing happened, when the plane crashed into the first building, emergency services called the building and told everybody, hey, stay put, don't be afraid, don't worry, help is on the way. Right. And so he looked around him and everybody seemed to be obeying what emergency services said. They said, okay, we're going to stay put. And then the guy looks at everybody and says, no way, I'm going to stay here. I'm going out. I'm getting out of here. And so everybody excuse me, everybody tells him, no, don't go. Emergency services said that we should stay. Where are you going to? Why don't you stay here like they said we should? And the guy says, nope, I am out of here. And that's how he left everybody and he passed through the emergency exit. You guys know the emergency exits usually in all those skyscraper buildings, right? Yes. So he left through the emergency exit and he was on the 53rd floor. So imagine having to go down 53 stories on the stairs. And so this guy starts going down. He's going down. He's going down. He's literally running for his life because the building is already behaving as if he wants to collapse. So the guy is running. He's running down the stairs. He's running down the stairs. And then he finally gets to the 15th floor. When he gets to the 15th floor, he meets this woman. The woman is also heading down to the ground floor because she's trying to escape as well. But her problem was that the woman had weight, like she had a lot of weight. So it felt like she was carrying 3 people at the same time. So she was tired. And the guy could see how tired the woman was. And so he looked at her and he's like, do you need some help? And the woman said, please help me, help me. And then he takes the woman's hand, puts it around his shoulder. And then together, two of them now go all the way down to the ground floor. So when you go to the ground floor of the building, many of these skyscrapers, they usually have like, you know what an atrium is, right? This, it's like a ceiling in front of the building where underneath. So in front of that atrium, or rather under that atrium, there was a policeman. So the policeman looked at the two people running out of the building and said, oh, where did you people come from? Why are you out here? And he's like, you people should stay here. So and so material. It is impenetrable. Make sure you stay here. Don't go anywhere. And so the woman decides to stay. And the guy looks at the woman and tells the woman, look, madam, I know what this guy just told us. Get as far away from this building as I possibly can. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So when he told the woman looks at him and says, no, I'm not going anywhere. The policeman said that we should stay. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. The guy looks at her and said, okay, good luck. And then he did what they call jackpot. He had gotten about 10 blocks away from the building. Guess what happened? The next thing he saw, the entire two buildings came falling down. And everybody died. The people who were up, remember his colleagues, the ones that said that they will wait for emergency services to come and meet them. Remember those guys? They died. The one that was in the atrium, that woman who said she was going to wait because policeman said that she should wait, she was there. Whereas the guy said, no, I am going to go as far away from the building as possible. And he ran all the way till he got to 10 blocks away from the building. And the moment he got there, the two buildings came falling down. The policeman died, the woman died, his colleagues died, everybody died. And then he asked himself, what if he had chosen the alternative? Because on every one of those scenarios, he had two choices. Like he could have stayed or he could have left. If he had stayed on any of those scenarios, he would have been dead. And that's exactly what happens to us with our money. One thing that we don't understand about money is that nothing just happens. For those of us who have a notepad, you should write this thing down. Nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. The law of cause and effect happens to all things. Every choice you make is a cause. Every choice you make is a cause. But when you are presented with an opportunity that can potentially change your life, if you say yes to it, is a cause. You are going to cause something to happen or not happen. And even when nothing happens, it is also an effect. So interesting. How many of us have heard about the law of cause and effect? You've heard about the law of cause and effect, right? Yes. That nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. I have found out, and I've worked with thousands of people over the years. God has helped me. I have worked with so many people from all walks of life, from different countries. And one thing that I have found to be true is that there are two categories of people, right? There are the ones who are surviving, and there are the ones who are thriving. The ones who are surviving, 9 times out of 10, they are living their life in cause. Sorry, not surviving. The ones who are thriving, they are living their life in cause. The ones who are surviving, 9 times out of 10, they are living their life in effect. Do you want me to prove it to you? I'll give you some examples. Now, you find out it's very common for most people to be in survival mode, especially in Nigeria, right? The way the economy is, the Tinubu economy, everything going on. It's very normal for people to be in survival mode, right? But if you really look closely at people who are living life in survival mode, you're going to see these things common amongst them, right? Most of them are living life in effect. What does that mean? Number one, people who are living life in effect only do things as reactions. Most people who are living life in effect react to life. People who are living life in effect, they react to life. They react to outcomes. When I say they react to life, I'm talking about the fact that they react to outcomes. Something happens, something happens, maybe they lose money, and so their reaction is, I will never ever take advantage of any opportunity again. I will never ever find myself in any opportunity again. That's a reaction. That's a reaction. Whereas someone else probably came across the same opportunity and decided to do his own research. Now the person is taking advantage. In other words, the person is taking charge. He is now living life in cause. He's doing his research. He's learning how to invest. He's learning all the information he needs to learn first before taking advantage of such an opportunity. Now, this is not me saying that you need to always do all the analysis and overanalyze before you take advantage of opportunities. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there are a group of people who take responsibility for their actions and their outcomes, whereas there are some people who only react to the outcomes. So when you see people who are in survival mode, 9 times out of 10, they're just reacting. Most of them are reacting to what's going on in their lives. Excuse me, please. So nothing just happens, right? According to the law of cause and effect, nothing just happens. If you want something to change, then what do you have to do? You have to change the input, right? Everything you want is an output. What you have to change, then you have to change the input, right? You have to change the input. You must change your behavior, change your decisions, change your mentors, change your habits. But something has to change, right? So what happens is that the moment you begin to change those things, when you change your behavior, you are changing your cause. Does that make sense? You are changing your cause. By changing your cause, you change the effect. You change the effect. If you change your behavior, you have changed something that can trigger a different outcome for you. For example, if you're the kind of person who is very lazy, a lazy bum, used to wake up by 10 a.m. when people have already entered almost half of their work day, that's when you're waking up. Like, so even Dangote doesn't wake up by that time, but you wake up by that time, that is a cause. That is a cause. And so when it's difficult for you to get ahead financially, when it's difficult for you to make money, don't be surprised because that's the effect, right? But you see, for most people, when they are not in control of the causes, they blame the effect on something else. I'll say that again. When you are not in control of the cause, you can easily blame the effect on something else. You can easily blame the effect on someone else. You can even blame it on the government, like most people do. They say it's a fault of the government. It's because of the government. The economy is bad. They say the economy is bad. How many of us would like to learn how to rise above any national economy? I mean, how would you like to learn how you can say there is a lifting up when everybody is saying there's a casting down? How would you like to learn how to thrive in an economy where everybody is surviving? How many of us want to learn that? Oh, nobody? I'm not seeing anyone in the comments. Okay, Deborah. Deborah seems to be the only one who wants to learn that. Awesome. So I'm going to teach you, Deborah. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So everybody, make sure you attend the physical events. Okay. Make sure you attend the physical event. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the law of cause and effect. Listen, the major thing I want you to take out of this is this. You are 100% responsible for your actions and your outcomes. Write it down. Say, I am 100% responsible for my actions and my outcomes. Now, it doesn't matter what got you to the point where you are now. How you got here does not matter. It doesn't matter whether your parents did not have information, they did not train you well, they did not give you, good financial education. In school, nobody taught you economics, nobody taught you how to save money, nobody taught you how to budget. All of that stuff might be true, but despite the fact that that is true, it is still 100% your responsibility to take advantage of the opportunities around you to change your outcomes by changing your actions, right? So this is the idea. I am 100% responsible for my actions and my outcomes. That is how to control your outcomes. That's how to control your life. Yes. In fact, I'm going to give you guys a task. After this session, I would 100% recommend that you go and do a deeper study on the law of cause and effect. Learn more about the law of cause and effect so you can understand just how you are creating the life of your dreams. Okay? So learn about the law of cause and effect. It would transform a lot of things in your life and your business. Okay? So if you look at your current reality now, for example, right, for most of us, when you look at your current reality, you find out that your current reality is the result of your past actions. It is the result of your past habits. It's the result of your past decisions. Most people don't take responsibility for these things, so they don't. If you are broke right now, there's a cause. See, I'll say that again. If you are broke right now, there is a cause. If you are broke right now, is an effect, and there is a cause. If you are thriving right now, if you're successful right now, is an effect. Hmm? Is an effect. There's a cause. There's a cause. Your sales doesn't just dry up. How many of us are in sales here? Can you type the word sales in the comments? You sell something online. Type the word sales in the comment. Your sales doesn't just dry up on its own. It doesn't have the ability to dry up on its own, right? There's a cause. Poor traffic, bad messaging, no follow-up systems, no lead nurturing. There's a cause. There's always a cause. Okay. Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say cause and effect. That's what I mean. Cause and effect. There is always a cause. Whatever is happening in your life is an effect. Anything that is happening in your life today is an effect. Your bad relationships. Let me not say bad relation, but I mean it's true. There are people here who have bad relationships. Maybe you have a bad relationship with your, maybe a sibling, God forbid. But it's possible that you have bad relationships with people around you. It's an effect. If you are not getting results in your business, it's an effect. It's an effect. If you are not saving enough money, it's an effect. It is an effect. If you're not doing 100 million naira per year, it's an effect. If you are not doing 300 million a year, it's an effect. Yes, it's an effect. And it has a cause. Every effect has a cause. But here's the magic, right? Here's the magic, and I want you to take this home with you. It's the fact that you do not want to live life in effect, because anything that is in effect is obsolete. I'll say that again. Anything that is in effect is obsolete. Anything that has happened is obsolete. You cannot control that which has already happened. It has happened. Therefore, it is now obsolete. So I usually wonder, I can't make sense of it when I see things happen to people. Something happens to you, and then you find yourself dwelling and dwelling and dwelling on that thing. And you're just dwelling on it. It's like you can't get it out of your head. You spend so much time thinking about something that has already happened. You are angry about it, you are sad about it, you are depressed about it, you name it about it. A complete absolute waste of emotions over something that has already happened, something that is obsolete. So what should you do instead, right? What should you do instead? Very simple. You should focus on what you can control, right? Always focus on that which you can control. What can you control? You can control your actions. You can control your actions. I'm not saying reaction, I say action. Hmm. There's something that I wanted to say just now. I'm resisting the urge to say it. Maybe if you guys come for the physical event, I'll say it. But you can control your actions. And you know one very interesting thing. I'll share this before I move on to my next thought. What how many of us here are Christians? Can you type the word Christian in the comments? You're Christians here. There's no way I come for a session and there's no way I come for a session and people don't know that I'm close to the God that I serve. I'm 100% close to the God. I have a relationship with God. There's a difference between being a Christian and having a relationship with God. I have a relationship with the God that I serve. I want to make a reference. Whenever the devil wants to steal something from you, okay, do you know that the devil knows the law of cause and effect? Do you guys know this? That the devil knows the law of cause and effect, and he uses it every single day. Should I prove it to you? Who wants me to prove it? I'm going to prove it to you now. That the devil knows the law of cause and effect, and he uses it to steal from you every single day. Let me show you how. So there was this time I went to Lagos, right? I went to Lagos for, I think it was an event. So I was in Lagos for an event, and I had just finished attending the event. So I was on my way home. I entered an Uber. I took a boat, a taxi home, and on my way home, I think we stopped by at one place and then we bought something and went back home. And so when we got home, I remember that at the beginning of that trip, the price of the trip was 6,700 naira. I remember very vividly. So by the time we got home, imagine my surprise when I'm looking at the price of I'm looking at what I'm supposed to pay, and I'm seeing 13,800 naira from where? Like, ow. But then it was already late. It was around like 9:30. So in my mind, I'm like, I just need to get out of here and go and sleep. So the moment I looked at the screenshot that he showed me, I'm like, okay, give me your account number. Like with that tiredness, I just typed the thing and sent him 13,800 like that. So when I sent him the money, I got inside the house. I don't even know what made me go back to my app to go and check. And so when I went to the app, I looked at it. I'm like, guess the first thing I saw? I saw that I had that's the ride, that particular ride, the original one of 6,700 had been cancelled. When? I do not know. But the original ride had been cancelled. And what that guy showed me inside that car was a screenshot of an old ride. Can you imagine? If it was you, knowing that you still have the guy's phone number, or you people that are here now that are saying, I live my life in effect, I live my life in cause. You that is living your life in cause, what will you have done? We know have carried that phone and called that guy and told him his whole life history that day. Swear for him and his entire generation. Is that not what you would have done? Imagine my surprise. So when I found out that he had robbed me, because that's actually robbery, robbery. When I found out that he had robbed me, I picked my phone and I called him. What do you think I called him for? Somebody would say you called him to show him a piece of you, right? So I called him. When I called him, I just told him, I said, bros, well done. Oh. He said, chairman, well done, sir. I said, see, I just opened my app now. I say, the right way we go, you cancel them. But you show me magic 13,800 where I pay you. From where to where? How you take do am? The guy say, he was trying to play dumb with me. He was trying to play dumb. He said, bros, how come now? How come now? Okay, wait first. I dey come. Make I just check him. Make I check him. I go call you back. I allowed him. I allowed him. The guy called the call. I gave him like 10 minutes. You understand? Let me give him as much time to do his investigation, the investigation that I was to do. I gave him enough time. Then I called him back. When I called him back, he said, hey, bros, I don't check him. Oh. I see say, me self, the thing shock me. Oh. I don't know. Say the thing they happen like that too. I beg if you send me your account, make I send you the balance. I say you don't mean it. Ah, why are you sending me balance for money where you don't thief already? I told him, I said, bros, I did not call you because I want to make any trouble with you. I just called you because I want to tell you that I know what you did and it is not good. That's all. Have a nice night. That was the end of that conversation. And you see the way I am now. No reaction. I was calm, 100%, composed, my steez, 100%. I just called the guy, told him, I know what you did. It wasn't good. Have a nice night. Done. How many people can do that one here? You people that are looking at me like this. How many of you can you do that? Mr. Water is laughing already. He knows. Mr. Water knows that he will breathe fire down. Mr. Water will spend 7 minutes on that guy's generation. He will do proper analysis of that guy's generation. Hey, Emmanuel too. Emmanuel that is forming cool guy for us like this. Now, if Emmanuel called that guy, then I will show the guy something. But I didn't nothing. Nothing. Now, it was almost 48 hours after that call. Something happened. I was trying to make a payment online. I'd forgotten about the guy's existence. So it doesn't matter. It has happened. It has happened. Me, I don't waste my emotion on things that have happened. Let me remove the word waste, but I don't spend. Let me use that word. So I don't spend my emotion on things that have happened. I do not. So, almost 2 days later, I wanted to make a call. Felix, I'm speechless. I wanted to make a call. Okay, no, I wanted to make a payment, sorry, online. So I wanted to make a payment. And so when I got online, I brought out my I wanted to bring out my card because I needed the card to make the payment. I think I was trying to book a flight if I remember correctly. So I was trying to do something, but it was very important, that thing I was trying to book. So when I got online, I got to the part of making the payments. I checked my pause because normally my cards and those things are usually there. I checked my pause. I didn't see my card, my ATM card. It wasn't there. I checked everywhere, opened my box, scattered everything. Ah, where's my card? Where's my card? I couldn't find my card anywhere. So next thing I saw was I couldn't also find my wallet for some weird reason. So I was now getting worried. I was checking everywhere, I scattered the entire place. I didn't see my wallet. And immediately, light bulb, that wallet is lost. I remember that for the first time in a very long time, my wallet was in my back pocket, which is not normal for me. Oh. But that night I was tired. I just casually put it in my back pocket. So I was wondering, where could it be? Where could it be? There are only two places that thing could have been. It was either going to be inside that guy's cab, or it would have been in the place I went where he picked me up from. So I first called the people at the place where he picked me from and told them, see, oh, I'm looking for my wallet. And they said, okay, they'll check and let me know. Then I called the guy. When I called the guy again, you need to see the way the guy was, the way the demeanor with which he received my call. Now, this is him now. It's like, hey, bros, this one where they call me again. How now? As if we're now friends. Somebody that stole for me, somebody that robbed me is now behaving like my friend. So, but anyway, and I said, bros, well done, oh. Sorry, oh. I did find my wallet. I beg, you fit put hand for that side where I sit down that day. Make you check whether the thing did there. And he said, okay. He put his hand. The moment he put his hand in the side where I sat down, guess what he felt? He felt my wallet. Actually, he felt a wallet. So when he brought out the wallet, he said, he said, bros. In fact, the moment he touched it, he started saying, bros, you get loco. Bros, you get loco. I said, what thing happened? He said, first of all, bros, I don't see wallet here. Oh. He said, what be the color of your wallet? I said, it's black. He said, bros, I don't see your wallet. Bros, you get locked. Die. I said, why you they talk say I get locked, sir? He said, bros, you don't know what thing happen. Oh. You don't know how you lock you. He now told me that day that I called him, that's the night, 2 nights ago, when I called him, that if I had called him to do like everybody else would have done, which is to insult him, curse him, destroy his generation, and collect my money back, that the chances that he would have ever even picked my call again, very slim. He wouldn't have picked that call. And if he had not picked that call, my wallet would have been gone. My Emirates ID, that's my Dubai residency, my UAE residency ID is inside that wallet. My driver's license is inside that wallet. All my ATM cards in this world are inside that wallet. Both local and international, all of them are inside that wallet. Even without cash inside, the wallet is safe. It's what I wanted. So imagine if I had reacted. Like, I want you to pause for a minute and think about every situation that has happened to you in the past where you could have just responded instead of reacted. If I had reacted, it would have robbed me of that wallet and I would never have recovered from it in a very long time. And that's when I realized that when devil wants to steal from you, he already, he sees the future now and things. So what he does is that he orchestrates scenarios. He conjures up scenarios. He creates that. You see, he tempted the guy. Devil knew what was happening. He knew what was going to happen. He tempted the guy to steal, knowing fully well that it would give me a scenario to react, of which if I reacted, I would have lost that wallet. Do you see how the whole thing would have played out? Do you see how the whole thing played out? So you see the master plan. You see the master plan. So now the understanding I got from that was that when devil wants to take something from you, he steals your joy. And why does he steal your joy? It's simple. It's because joy is a feature. It's scriptural, right? It's scriptural. With joy, right? With joy shall men draw out of the wells of salvation. The scriptural. So what does that mean? It means that joy is a fetcher. Therefore, when devil wants to steal from you, he steals your joy. And he cannot come and touch your joy directly. No, that's not what he does. What he does is that he orchestrates scenarios where you react, because you can't feel joy and anger at the same time. No. You cannot feel joy and sadness at the same time. No, you can't. You cannot feel joy and, low self-esteem at the same time. No, you have to trade one other. So when you feel fear, you can't feel joy at the same time. So what he would do is he would create a scenario where you can be scared, where you can be fearful, so that he can steal the joy. Because the moment you now take fear and that you decide to show fear in that moment, he's going to take the joy. You have given it to him. You guys know what near success syndrome is? You know what near success syndrome is? Do you know the root of near success syndrome? Go and do your research. Oh. But me, I didn't need to. I did not need to research near success syndrome. Some things come to you by revelation. That's as you are learning and you're studying, some things just come to you. That if he wants to take that which is coming close to you, that's if it's on its way. How many of you have you ever experienced it before? There was this time when I was supposed to get into this contract. It was in millions of naira, and I had done almost everything. In fact, up to the contract, I had drafted up the contract, I had signed my part of the contract. In fact, I was practically smelling the money already. I sent the copy of the contract over to the man, only for him to sign and send money. This was before I discovered this secret I'm sharing with you guys. Oh, I don't even know what the scenario was that happened in that case, but I know I reacted. Oh, I reacted crazily to something. And the funniest thing is that these things, whenever they happen and you react, you now be thinking, like, was it really that deep? The way you reacted to that thing, was it really that bad that you had to even react like that? You start asking yourself that question, but it's already too late. It's already too late. And that's how I lost that contract. That's how I lost the contract. It never came. The man ghosted me, literally. Like, how does that happen? Like, how does he go? This is somebody you have been having back and forth conversations with. You had a Zoom call. His entire team was there. You guys agreed on what you're going to do for them. You did a contract. Everything done. But you send money, ghost. Have you seen that happen before? It's called near success syndrome. And what creates it is that what happens is that devil steals your joy and your ability to fetch disappears. Therefore, whatever was coming to you, you can't fetch it. That's just the way it works. If you don't believe me, just begin to observe. Hmm? Now that I've put it into your consciousness, you are now aware. Begin to observe. You see what happens. So, as I was saying, the law of cause and effects. Okay? That's what we're talking about. The law of cause and effect. So why I gave you that story, why I shared that story is because the devil understands the law of cause and effect. He knows that when he takes your joy, it is a cause. The effect is near success syndrome. The effect is near success syndrome. The effect is lost opportunities. That's the effect. Missed opportunities. Opportunities are supposed to be on their way to you and supposed to come to you effortlessly. They just be going another direction. Right? So I hope you have gained one thing from what I've shared with you so far about the law of cause and effect. And it should be the fact that you are 100% responsible for your actions and your outcomes. Okay. All right. So let's move on. I want to share three more things with you and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Okay. So I'll teach you three things, or I'll share with you three things. I call it the three hidden rules of the money game. All right. The three hidden rules of the money game. By the way, those of us who are going to come for the physical event, you've not even seen anything. We're just gisting. We're just gisting here. That's what we're doing. We're just gisting. When you come for the live event, that's when we'll settle down. I'll teach you the 5 pillars of a 9-figure internet business. I've done hundreds of millions in revenue by the grace of God. I've taught a lot of people, and my students have done a cumulative of more than $3 million over the past 5 years. So that has showed me a couple of things about what actually works. And I'm going to teach you when you come for the physical event. The 5 pillars of a 9-figure business that you can build as a solopreneur or you can build as a company. Okay. All right. So the three hidden rules of the money game. Hmm? Number one, money doesn't flow towards hard work. Somebody will say, but they say hard work pays. The sentence is incomplete. Hard work pays the least. Did you get that? It said hard work pays, but hard work pays the least. I'll prove it to you now. Don't worry. Some people say, what's it saying? No, money doesn't flow towards hard work. Money flows towards leverage. Hard work pays the least, leverage pays the most. Did you get that? Let me give you an example, right? So let me give you an example, okay? Imagine the bricklayer. You guys know bricklayers and what they do, right? Or rather, let me give you a practical example, something that actually happened to me. Hmm? Let me give you something that happened to me. So I went to buy there's this market in Dubai, they call it Dera. I don't know how many of us have been to Dubai before, but there's this market in Dubai they call Dera. I usually go there anytime I want to buy, like, I want to do major shopping, like major shopping. I usually go to Dera to do my shopping because things are much more affordable in Dera. So I went there, and the thing about Dera is a very big market, so you can just go in the morning and you can spend the whole day, and then you now end up going home in the evening times. So when I was going home in the evening, it's a Nigerian guy that carried me, an Igbo guy. He was driving a Lexus RX 330, and I got in his car and we started the trip. When we're heading home, I mean to my house, when he was going to drop me off. So when we're heading home, I usually like to have conversation with people. Like, I usually like to have conversation with those who are, you know, driving me, especially if it's a taxi. So we started having conversation, and I got to find out that this guy had been driving that taxi in Dubai for 15 years. I'm pausing for emphasis. That guy had been driving that taxi in Dubai for 15 years. And I was fascinated by that. I was fascinated. I was not shocked. I was not. That's the thing about me. Those who have known me for a while, they know this about. I don't judge people. I don't judge people because everybody you meet gives you a very unique opportunity to learn, right? You can learn from people's experiences by asking them questions, by being genuinely curious about who they are, what they do, why they think the way they think. You learn a whole lot about things, right? So I was curious. So the first thing I said was, "That's interesting. I'm fascinated by that. I want to know why." Like, I mean, it didn't quite, like, there was no reference point in my brain where it made sense that somebody would drive a taxi for 15 years. So I wanted to understand, like, what's the thought process behind that? Like, are you trying to be the best taxi driver in Dubai? Are you trying to build a career as a taxi driver? Do they have a retirement plan for taxi drivers? Like, I'm trying to understand the rationale behind why he had been driving a taxi for 15 years. So he told me, he said that, well, first of all, his father taught him one thing, that his father taught him that if you don't sweat, that any money that you don't sweat to get is not real money. He said, you must work hard to get money. You see, listen, I've told you two things now. Number one, he said you must work hard to get money. Second thing, he said you if what was the second thing again? He said he said if you that you have to sweat. Yes, that if you don't sweat, then the money is not real money. That if you don't sweat to get the money, it's not real money or something like that. That you must enter the sun, you understand? You must hustle. If you don't hustle, then it's not real money. Then I said, well, let me pause you there. And I told him, I said, you know, I've been working from home since 2018, like in my house, from the comfort of my house. I wake up whenever I want. Now, some people might see that as a luxury, but those of us who work from home, we know those that know, they know it's not a luxury. But even though it's still something that most people aspire to do, like people want to work from home. So and I told him, I said, do you know I've been working from home since 2018? And look at what I've been able to do since 2018 till now. I showed him some of my numbers. I googled myself and I showed it to him. I said, "This is me. Oh. Look at like this is me." Oh. He said, "It's a lie. It's a lie. All those things what they do. Is there anything what they do for online? So find that online na Yahoo." I said, "That's interesting." I see. I don't argue with people. Oh, listen, listen. If and only if you can adopt this way of thinking, that when you meet people who have a strong opinion about things, listen, don't argue. When you listen, you learn. When you're listening to them, you are learning some interesting things about how people think. So as he was sharing this with me, I was like, oh wow, interesting. That's interesting. he said, he said, anything, see anything that anything that if you are doing it online, so find out online. Say it's Yahoo. I said, you don't mean it. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. And then I showed him one testimonial, a powerful testimonial from one of my students. He was like, wow, this thing not real. Look at now. Perspective is shifting. The first question now, I've challenged his belief now by showing him evidence that there is a contrary reality to what he believes. And so now he's saying that, this thing not real. I said, no, 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 it's not real. No, it's not real. Wait, let me show you another one. I showed him another one and another one. I showed him five. By the time I showed him five, his language had changed. Guess what he was now saying? He said, bros, I beg you, go teach me. So interesting. How did we go from if you don't sweat to make it, it's not money to bros, you could teach me how to make this money online. So crazy. So crazy. But what I proved to him was that you don't need to work hard in terms of labor. You don't need hard labor to make money. What you need is high leverage. You don't need hard labor. You need high leverage. And in order for you to increase your leverage, what do you need? You need things like skills. When you have more skills, you're increasing your leverage. With every skill that you acquire, you are increasing the amount of leverage that you have. When I started in 2019, what I had was like two skills in my skill stack, and that was making me less than $70 in a month. It was making me, $70. It was making me less than 70,000 naira in a month as of 2019. Fast forward to today, what I have in my skill stack now is more than 24 skills. I'm not joking. All helping me grow my business. It increases my leverage in so many different areas of my life. Every skill that you acquire increases your leverage. Write it down. Every skill that you acquire increases your leverage. Okay. So money doesn't flow towards hard work. What does it flow to? It flows towards leverage. How do you increase your leverage? Number one, increase your skill set, right? Increase your skill set. I will stop there for that. We're still going to go deeper. Will we go deeper? This is like introduction. We're gisting. We're gisting. Uh-huh. Number two, we're talking about the three hidden rules of the money game. And I told you that rule number one is that money doesn't flow towards hard work. Where does it flow to? It flows towards leverage. Number two, if your money only works when you work, you are still poor. Write it down. If your money only works when you work, you are still poor. If your money only comes when you work, you are still poor. over the past couple of years, I've trained quite a number of people, and one of the people that I trained is a particular lady who she started doing very well. Oh. She was making about 5 million a month, and the problem was that with her progress came problems. With her progress came good problems. And one of the problems that she started experiencing was that she started getting a lot of potential customers that she couldn't handle. Because with more people coming in, she had to keep spending her time, she had to keep spending her energy, attending to these people every single day. Meaning that the more people who came in, the more problems she was experiencing because she couldn't handle all this traffic in her business. And so what happened was that she now fell into the hamster wheel. I call it the hamster wheel because that's exactly what it is, right? Let me explain what it looks like. She wakes up in the morning, there's so many messages to reply. She has nothing else to do. She has to reply. Because if she doesn't reply, she's going to lose money. So she has to start replying. So she starts replying the messages. And so she's on her phone. The moment she wakes up, she has not even brushed her mouth. She's already brushing her eyes with her phone screen. And she's already replying to those people that are waiting for replies. So she reply. Pa, 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 pa. She now remembers, hey, I've not brushed though. Then she drops the phone for 5 minutes, goes to go and brush, quickly baths, takes a bath, changes her clothes, and she's back to the phone. She's back to the hamster wheel. And then she starts replying the messages again. And she reply. Now, she does that for the whole day, and then she makes some sales, and she's happy. Tomorrow, same old. Rinse and repeat. The same process, same routine. She does the same thing the following day, and the same day, same thing happens on day three, same thing happens on day four, same thing happens on day five, and it keeps repeating. It becomes a loop, and it becomes a hamster wheel. Now, what makes it a hamster wheel is the fact that the moment she stops running, aka the moment she stops replying messages, money stops coming in. And that's why if your money only works when you work, you are still poor. Let me even give you a practical example. I remember the first time I had an international trip. It was even all expenses paid to Egypt. So we went to Cairo. From Cairo, we went to Sharm el Sheikh. It was a fantastic 7 day vacation. When we got to Cairo, we spent 2 days in Cairo, I remember. The remaining days we spent in Sharm el Sheikh. So we spent time after doing all the things we did in Cairo, we now moved to Sharm el Sheikh. Now, the day we were moving to Sharm el Sheikh, by the way, mind you, before I left Nigeria, I turned off my WhatsApp. That's then I didn't even have an assistant. Yet I turned my WhatsApp off because I was going for vacation. Duh. Like, I'm not going to be on vacation and be replying anybody in this world, even if there's an emergency. Yes, even if nothing's going to burn down. I'm on vacation. I'm not going to leave Egypt and come here because of an emergency. No, no, no. I'll finish my vacation. I'll come and meet. Everything will be fine till I come back. And so I left. Now, meanwhile, there was another group of people on the same trip with me. There was another group of people on the same trip with me who, from the beginning till in fact, especially on the day we were moving from Cairo to Sharm el Sheikh, it was a 5 hour flight from Cairo to Sharm el Sheikh. That night, the night before that morning, they spent the entire night replying messages because there was a promo going on that period. So they were replying messages from prospects all through the night. They were replying messages from prospects all through. How do you like how? And you say you have financial freedom? You have what? You said you have what? So they were replying prospects all through the night. By the time morning came, they went to go and post, and they saw, because they were replying prospects, definitely sales will come now, Abby. So they made a lot of sales. So they now went to go and post in the morning, making money while I sleep. What a joke! Hey, see, some of these people are living fake life. Oh, a lot of people are living fake life on this internet. Hey, they went to go and post in the morning to go and pressure people. That's the kind of pressure now. That's what makes more sales. So they went to go and post to say, making money while I sleep. Hey, so crazy. And you know the effect. Remember the law of cause and effect, right? So what they did in the night was a cause, and the effect was that all through the flight from Cairo to Sharm el Sheikh for 5 hours on the plane, they were sleeping. They did not see when we flew over the Namibian desert. They did not see when we flew over the Red Sea. They didn't see all the beautiful sights that me, I was awake, my eyes were shining because I slept well. I'm on vacation. I slept very well. I did videos just as I should have because I'm on vacation. So you see, that's the kind of life that some of us are building for ourselves. Some of us have even left a 9 to 5. Like you left a 9 to 5 job and entered into a hamster wheel. Like, how does that even make sense? How do you move from the rat race into a hamster wheel? Do you know which one is worse? At least in a race, they used to come first. There's a finish line. In a hamster wheel, you will be running. The running never stops. You just be running. And the moment you stop running, your results, that's where it ends. That's where it ends. So again, rule number 2, if your money only works when you work, what? You are still poor. But don't worry. Type the word "I won't be worried" in the comments. Type it in the comments. I won't be worried. Because I'm going to show you guys in the 5 pillars, excuse me, in the 5 pillars of a 9-figure internet business, I'm going to show you exactly what to do so that your money works even when you're sleeping. How would that be? Does it make sense? Want to learn that? Okay. So that's rule number 2. Now let's talk about rule number 3, shall we? So rule number 3. Rule number 3 is very simple. Wealth is not a destination. Wealth is not a destination. Wealth is not an event. Wealth is not a reward. Wealth is a skill. Write it down. Wealth is not an event. Wealth is not a reward. Wealth is not a destination. It is not a status. Wealth is a skill. As a matter of fact, wealth even goes beyond skill. I wish I can. Should I dive? Should I go deeper? Should I go deeper?
No, sir, don't
I've
go
learned
deeper. They should come for the event.
I should not go deeper.
No.
I
You
will
have
go
already
deeper in the
gone,
event. You people should come for that
you
event.
have
See,
already
the
gone
people, the
deep
person you are
enough.
seeing here, I've gone deep enough. And I've not even gone deep. We're just playing at the surface. This is gist. We're gisting. Hmm? We're gisting about wealth. So,
Your gist is deep already.
so wealth is a skill, right? Wealth is a skill. Wealth is a skill. Okay. Wealth is, as a matter of fact, I'm going to explain deeper during that session. Oh my God. See, when you guys come for that session, I'm going to show you wealth in the way that you've never seen it before in your life. I will explain wealth in the way you've never seen it in your life. You will understand that. Let me not tell you some things, but just make sure you come for the physical event. We'll have enough time to settle down and break things down. When it's too heavy for your head to carry, there's cold water, you drink water. Hmm? But there's something that really changed my perspective. There was an experience I had that really changed my perspective about wealth as a whole. When I started out doing online business, and this is where I'm going to wrap it up, by the way, because of time. So when I started doing online business at first, I struggled for my first 11 months. You know, people see me now and they're like, oh my God, this guy, I want to be like you when I grow up. And you're doing well. Oh my God. But when I started out, it was 11 months of real serious struggle. And during those 11 months, I tried a lot of things. I tried different strategies. I was doing copy mentality. You know the way we used to do when we're in university now, when you will not do assignment until they are supposed to submit. When you come to class, you now say, how far, guy, how far, you don't do them. So it's that same copy mentality that I carried into my business. And I was looking for who to copy. I was always looking for who has gotten it right. I want to copy the person, and all of that. And I was thinking that that would help me to shortcut the process. But you see the irony sometimes, like when you're looking for a shortcut, it takes you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you're still looking for the shortcut. The irony. Do you see the irony there? So after 11 months, I found out that there was no shortcut. I was chasing, I was chasing that, I was just chasing tails, and what that showed me was that successful businesses, I mean, contrary to what society makes us to believe that in order for you to be successful, then you must build a successful business. True or false, right? That's to be successful. Successful things have to happen in your life. Build a successful business, then you are successful. Get a car, buy a nice car, then you are successful. Build a big house and do a big launching with your pastor coming to come and cut the ribbon, then you are successful, right? Those are society's definition of success. So society is shaping our mind. So we now see that which is successful as achievements. That is, achievements equals success. Abi, isn't that true? Some people would say, "Oh, yeah, that's correct. That's correct." Oh my! But then, I found out that businesses don't succeed on their own. People succeed, and businesses don't fail. People fail. When you see a failed business, it's not because the business failed on its own. No business has the ability or the capacity to fail on its own. People fail. No business has the capacity to succeed on its own. People succeed. So what does that mean? What it means is that successful businesses are built by successful people. Should I say it again? Yeah. So what it means is that successful businesses are built by successful people. That's how it works, not the other way around. So you don't build a successful business to be successful. You become successful to build a successful business. Does that make sense? That's a mind shift for someone. So I wish I could go deeper on this one because there's a lot of deeperness inside this one. But don't worry, don't worry. Those who are going to come for the physical event, we will play around these things. We will go deeper. Somebody type go deeper. It will be an amazing time. Really, it will be an amazing time. So what I'm going to show you, right? What I'm going to show you is how to rise above any national economy, right? And become your ultimate, most successful self. In fact, anybody who has followed me for 2 seconds knows this about me. I do not want to be anybody's guru. You might like the words that are coming out of my mouth. You say, "Oh my God, I like this guy. This guy is very funny. This guy. That's fine. That's okay. It's okay. But I don't want to be anybody's guru. So why? The reason why I don't want to be your guru is because you have your own guru inside of you. It's inside there. Your own guru is inside of you. So I want to introduce you to your guru self. I want to introduce you to the version of yourself that can save you. I'm not the one that's supposed to save you. It is you that's supposed to save yourself. So I want to introduce you to the version of yourself that is supposed to save you. I want to introduce you to the version of yourself that will wake up in the morning and you know exactly what to do to put a certain amount of money into your bank account. You wake up in the morning, you know exactly what to do to get any result that you set your eyes on. You now learn how to become your own hero. And it doesn't matter what your age is. I tell you this, it doesn't matter what your age is. There's a woman who just graduated from one of our academies. This woman has 3 graduates. Do you know how old you need to be to have 3 graduates? As children, they are kids. But the woman has now gained the ability to get certain outcomes whenever she wants. She knows how to build a sales process. She now knows how to sell without selling. She knows how to tell powerful stories. She knows how to run adverts by herself on Instagram, Facebook, on different platforms. She's now self-sufficient. Somebody type leverage. She has built leverage. She doesn't need to carry bricks to make money. Now she has leverage. Uh-huh. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So, what I will teach you, what I will show you is how to build your own leverage so that you can wake up in the morning and you know exactly what to do to get a particular result that you want. Because here's the truth, and I'm going to wrap up with this. The truth that I found out is that most people know what to do to get the results that they want. That's one fact. You can do your research and find out, but I've worked with thousands of people, so I can tell you this one for a fact. Most people know what to do to get what they want. Because now there's AI, yo. We are now in a world where there is AI, where there is an oversaturation of courses. You meet somebody for the first time and the person's like, oh my God, I don't even know which one to listen. I don't know who to listen to. There's just so much information on the internet, information overload. Everybody's saying the same thing. I don't know who to trust. Like, these are the realities. So there is a massive oversupply, that is oversupply of information. So it is not about the fact that you do not know anymore. So it's not that you don't know. 9 times out of 10, it's not that people don't know. No, they do know. The problem is that it's two problems. Number one, the problem is that they know, but they have not learned. They, they know, but they have not learned. What do I mean? It means that they don't have the evidence that comes from knowing, because learning comes with evidence, right? Learning comes with a change in behavior. Learning comes with a change in ability. Learning comes with a change in outcome. If it doesn't have any or all of those three things, you cannot convince me, sir. You have not learned. You might know it, though, but you have not learned. That's the reason why you buy a course. You suck in the information. You watch the videos like it's YouTube that you're watching. When you finish watching the video, you don't get any results. And then you go and buy another course, and the person who is who is creating the second course goes, he teaches you almost the same thing as what you learned before, and you're angry and not saying, I didn't get any value from this one, because you were expecting some other information. No, the information is the same, but the transformation is different. The information is the same, but the transformation is different. The reason why you don't have the transformation is because you did not learn. It did not change your behavior. That information that entered your hand was supposed to enter a part of you that should have changed your behavior, but you're free to change. You are still doing the same thing, and you expect a different outcome. Somebody say Delulu. Type Delulu in the comments. Delulu. How do you expect it to happen? You're doing the same thing and you're expecting a different outcome. How do you expect it to happen? Delulu. And you are blaming it on the course creator. Most of the time, they will blame it on the course creator. No, it's the course creator's fault. He did not do his homework. You have just not learned. So most of the time, we have not learned. For some of us, that's why we need to go back to those things that we have tried to learn in the past. Delulu means delusional. Delusional. Hmm? That's what it means. Delulu. That's what it means. Most people are delusional. So some of us here, what you need to do is actually you need to go back to the course, that course that you bought that year. You know how many years ago you bought the course and you just finished watching it like it was YouTube video playlist, and then you now told everybody that it didn't know what for you. There was one unfortunate guy that came to my WhatsApp DM the other day. And normally I don't reply my messages because I have an assistant that does all of that. But as I came online that day, he was unfortunate because I was the one that saw it myself. And the guy came and told me, I bought your course, sir, and I did not get any results. I said, that's where you found the problem. The problem here is that I'm the one that saw your message. When I finished talking to him, I didn't insult him. No, I don't do that. But what I told him was that if you didn't get any results yet, it's because you didn't do what you're supposed to do yet. There are more than 3,000 people who have bought the same training, among which hundreds of them have become viral sensations. All of them have gotten amazing results. Some of them, they have turned their lives around 360 degrees. So for you to come here and tell me this, you are a completely irresponsible person. You think that you buying the course automatically translates to you getting the result, then that is the height of irresponsibility. You think that you are not responsible for your results. No, sir, you are responsible. And that was a huge mind shift for the guy. The guy changed his ways immediately, went back to the drawing board, and he went to go and start studying again. This time around, when he went to study, he went to go and use the eye of a learner. Most times we do it with the eyes of a hustler. So we just go and be hustling our way through these things and you still expect some kind of result. Yeah, nah, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So I was explaining to you the reasons why, right? And I told you the first reason is what? That people go through a lot of things, they learn a lot of things. I mean, they now know a lot of things, they have a lot of information in their brains. As a matter of fact, they're like a living, breathing, walking encyclopedia, but they don't have the results that comes from knowing. And the reason why is because they have not learned. They know, but they have not learned. Because learn evidence. That's reason number one. Reason number two. Reason number two, and this is a very, very, very thick one. Reason number two is because they know what to do, but they are obsessed with getting the result without becoming the person who gets the result. I'll say it again for emphasis, right? They know what to do, but they don't do what needs to be done because they are obsessed with getting the result without becoming the person who gets the result. That's why they are looking for who to copy. They're looking for who has gotten it so that they can do what he's doing, aka copy. They are looking for who can do it for them. They are looking for templates. They are looking for scripts, copy and paste. They are looking for those things. And it comes from the desire to get an outcome without becoming the person who gets the outcome. And that is very dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because when you blowing, see the word blow is like boom, right? It's like boom. When you blow a balloon, what happens? It will either burst or it will last. True of us. It's one of the two. But it can never ever stay the same forever and ever. When you blow a balloon, it will either burst or it will less. And that's exactly happen. That's what happens when you blow. When you blow, you either blow up, you burst, or you go back down. Whenever people blow, right? Just like on social media, right? When you blow on social media, what happens? Everybody now knows you overnight. Like, oh my God, this guy is trending, blah, 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 blah. But only it's for 2 minutes, right? When you blow, you automatically become subject to the life cycle of a trend. Your entire life becomes a trend when you blow. Because every trend has a life cycle. At the beginning of every trend, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype. Everybody's talking about you. It's like, you're not the top guy, right? The guy's the top guy. This guy, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's talking about you. And before you know it, it's only a matter of time. You become a broken record. As time goes on, you become a broken record. Because most of the time, the people we see online, they don't grow, they blow. But what you want to do is grow. What you want to do is grow. Why? Because growth sustains itself. Growth sustains itself. If I lose everything that I have today, I lose 250,000 followers, I lose all the money I've made, I lose everything, my network, my contacts, I lose everything. If I lose everything today, I will make it all back in less than 1 year because growth sustains itself. I'll say it again. Growth sustains itself. When you attain the identity that creates, when you attain the identity that creates, you can lose everything it creates, but you can't lose the identity. Did you get what I said? You can lose everything it creates, but you can't lose the identity. And as long as that identity stays intact, your growth is sustained. That's why growth sustains itself. If Dangote loses all the money he has made, he will make it all back again in a very short space of time because he is that. He is that which creates wealth. He is that which creates wealth. It is out of who he is that he became. I hope that makes sense, though. It is out of who he is that he became. It is out of who he is. So you can actually get without becoming. If you meet me and I show you, last year there was a particular strategy I used that thing made me like 70 million. Let me show you the strategy. You can use it to make money for yourself. I show you the strategy, you implement the strategy for yourself. Boom, it makes you 10 million. You're like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Oh God, damn, that strategy was so powerful. And so when you finish using the strategy, the thing gets you results. Guess what? It's only going to get you results for a short time because every strategy has a shelf life, aka update they cast. Every strategy is an update they cast. Every strategy has a shelf life. So instead of being the person who is overly dependent on strategy, what's the strategy you're using? Why don't you become the person who creates the strategies? Why don't you become that which creates? Right. So what I teach people and what I empower people with is the identity. I am more concerned with the identity, not the strategy. So I don't give people a lot of strategies, even though I have hundreds of them to share. So most times, people who get strategies from me is by copying. They look at what I do and they do what I do. But I don't really care about that because I am that which creates. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am that which creates. So they can copy me all day, every day for the next 30 billion years. But I am that which creates. Tomorrow morning, I know exactly what to do to create a brand new strategy from scratch, even if it's stressful. That's the only annoying thing about it. First is just the fact that it's stressful. But then I am that which creates. So most of us here who are going to be, in fact, everyone here, it is my desire that everybody here today who is going to be on that live session, in that live session, the physical event, you're going to gain the identity. You are going to become introduced. Look, it's already there. I'm not going to give you something that you don't have already. No, I will introduce you to you. I will introduce you to yourself. The identity that creates. The identity that creates wealth, the identity that creates a way out no matter what situation you find yourself, the identity that creates solutions, the identity that creates beautiful relationships, great friends, the identity that creates value. The one that creates value. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Everybody keeps talking about, oh my God, you want to make money, you must know how to create value, create. See, forget about creating value. Forget about creating value. Focus on the identity. Because if you attain, see, when you get introduced to this identity, when you get introduced to your identity that creates, you see that everything flows from it. Everything flows from it. Wealth flows from it. Value flows from it. Good relationships flows from it. Results flows from it. Everything flows from it, from the identity. Did you get that? Oof. Caleb, I'm going to hand over to you now because if you don't take this mic from me now, I'm going to manifest.
Too
The
much
spirit is
for
about to
one
come out
night.
of me
In
now.
fact, those persons that have paid for the training, your money is already gone. Then the remaining part, the remaining set of people are owing us, so we'll drop our account number. Wow, 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 wow. Too much for one night. I mean, ah, what is going on? If the virtual session can be this powerful, I just wonder what we are going to be expecting in a live class with Mr. Kenny. Trust me, it's a meeting you don't want to miss, right? It's a meeting. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to hold this meeting this Saturday, but I heard there is environmental sanitation in Edo State in Benin. And I think you usually round up around 10, 11, around the time. And, we'll need to do a lot of setup that morning. And also, I really don't want this event to start late. The reason being that I want us to have enough time, right, to dissect a lot. And apart from just time to dissect a lot, I also want us to have enough time to network, right? Some of you may never have an opportunity to meet, to network with Mr. Kenny. This might just be your major and, probably only opportunity to network with Mr. Kenny. Of course, only those that are going to be on the VIP plan will have that opportunity, right? Because the event is done, once the event is done, and we wrap up the event, every one of us, we just close up the event. Then, of course, we'll have a little more time with the VIP members. So it's going to be like a closed session with the VIP members. So there you have an opportunity to connect closely um, with Mr. Kenny. So, for those persons who have not registered, but whatever it is, if you cannot afford the VIP package, of course, life is in phases, men are in sizes, we live our size per time. But if you cannot afford the VIP package, you can do well to ensure you take part to just be in the room, right? To just be in the room, you can do the regular package. So, like you see on the screen, the regular package comes with access to attend the event, right? Networking access with other participants. There's going to be a session where you can network with other people, right? Then it comes with a bottle of water, so right during the event. Then free sales masterclass after the event. So I'm going to be hosting a free sales masterclass after the event. So those persons that are, that are going to be part of the event would be part of this class. Then for the VIP, it's 25,000 naira. You have access to the event, networking access with participants, of course, closed networking session with the coaches, which is myself and Mr. Kenny. Then you have access to 1 month free access to Fination Global Online University. So you have access to the online university. That alone costs over 7,000 naira. So to have access to that, so but we're going to give you for free. Then free sales master class. Then free master class on stock market and real estate investment. That class alone, this master class on stock market and real estate is worth over 25,000. We were doing it for 10,000 before, but we've increased the price to 25, which after this event, we are going to launch. As a matter of fact, after this event, we are going to do a campaign for the master class on stock market and real estate. Okay. And those persons that are on this platform or that will do the VIP will have access to it for free, right? While others would pay 25,000, which is almost like what you are paying for VIP on this training, right? And finally, you have access to refreshment. Okay, so don't forget, apart from just that is an event, is also my birthday event, right? Which I usually do. And fortunately, Mr. Kenny's birthday was also this month. And I always say, May people are usually very exceptional. We are not so loud, but we are loud people not looking as though we are loud. Very funny set of people. Very deep set of people, but then it looks as though we are not loud. But then we're just doing our thing. We're missiles, silent missiles. Today, like I said before, I attended, there's a project we are doing with NYSC. It's more like a give back project, which I know with time it's going to be attracting sponsorships and what have you. But then, just few minutes with these guys, I mean, it's even some of the facility, the staffs, the impact was massive, very massive. And you could probably not even, when you see me, you may probably not even have an idea if we have what it takes to do some of the things that we're doing. So that's just how we are kind of very peculiar. So you imagine I and Mr. Kenny is going to be in the room on the now it's going to be on the 7th of June, right? It's going to be on the 7th of June. So it's no longer holding 31st of May, like I said, because of the environmental. So we are doing it 7th so that we'll have enough time. So the event is going to start pretty early, probably max by 9, we should kick off. So it's going to be from 9 till we'll have enough time. So where there's going to be different training sessions, my session, Mr. Kenny's session, then we'll have Q&A, then we'll have networking session. So it's going to be a high level of networking, learning, and re-engineering ourselves, right, for a bigger future, right? So I want to thank you all for joining tonight's call. And please, if you have not registered, do well to register. And trust me, I'm not doing any discount. I'm not going to do any, oh, because you attend the event, come and pay 10%. No. Even during my birthday, I was almost moved to say, okay, on my birthday, let me do maybe 20% discount. I said, bros, if you guys are not ready to come, no problem. The few ones that understand what they need to move to the next level in their life. See, you can't discount wisdom, right? You cannot really discount wisdom. Wisdom is wisdom. It's either you want to get it or you are willing not to get it. And of course, if you don't get it, you will still pay the price of ignorance. So it's simple. So we are not discounting anything. If you are ready for the regular, you pay, you attend. The only thing that I gave was some persons who are my friends. I told them that okay, fine, if you can get so number of people from your community, I'll give you the opportunity to give them a discount based on the influence they have. But generally, there is no discount, right? So that is how it works. So, but however, I want to see as many people attend this event as many people as possible because it's going to be a life transforming one. And I can tell you again and again and again, you will not be able to recover from it. You will not be able to recover from it. If just me alone, having a session, just me alone, the testimonials from past, events has been massive, let alone having myself and Mr. Kenny together. It's a no-brainer. Trust me, it's a no-brainer. Of course, I may not even do so much of the talking because I really want us to learn from Mr. Kenny. I personally I've learned a lot from him, and there's so much of wisdom that personally I've actually, learned working with him within this short period of time. So I want you guys to learn from him, right? So that it doesn't look as though I'm just the only one that you're learning from. I want you guys to learn from him, coupled with some of the other things that I'm going to do that day, right? So that's it. So I'm going to be expecting your chat. If you don't have my number, of course, I'm actually the one. I'm going to drop my number or drop a message on the group so you could send me a message directly. For those who wants to sign up, you send me a message, DM. Then, of course, I'll let you know what you need to do to get yourself registered and get yourself prepared for 7th of June. It's going to be a major, major event for us. All right, thank you guys. Is there any question? We'll take questions just within the next 5 minutes, then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Thank you. Do we have any question? If you have a question, you can put up your hand or drop a message on the chat. Any question? Okay, so I guess there's no question, right? Is there any question from anybody? All right, no question. So thank you guys. To see you all on my DM and also on the 7th of June for those persons that are going to be registering. All right. So have a fantastic night rest. Take care. Bye for now.